These could be the best new grip socks of 2025. They are definitely the most improved grip socks of 2025. And not only do they have a grip sock that I love, they also have an additional product that we're going to speak about, also socks, that honestly is becoming or has become an absolute go-to for me. These are also at an insane price, and I very rarely am this excited about a pair of grip socks or a company and what they have done. These are fantastic. These are the Advantedge Pro 2.0 grip socks. Let's talk about them. These are grip socks, so let's start by talking about the grips. This is the grip pattern on the previous generation. This is the grip pattern on the new generation. Let's get a nice pair out on the new generation, and you can see it is exactly the same. And there's nothing particularly wrong with that. These are the grippiest silicone-based grip socks that I have come across. Now, if you know me, you know the channel, you know it's not a style of grip that I personally particularly love, the silicone element. However, it is the most popular element on the market and the one that most people are looking for, and this is the grippiest version of that. So if you're just looking for maximum grip, the Advantedge is the way to go. And basically because of that, because they're already pretty much at the pinnacle of what they do, they have not adjusted that grip. You get a little bit up the heel, it runs nice and deep down into the toes of the sock. Personally, do I want to see it slimmed out a little bit more? Absolutely. Do I want to see them try something completely different? Absolutely. However, this absolutely, I've used that word too many times, delivers and will deliver what the majority of people are looking for. Now, with the new sock, they have changed up the material, which we will get into in just a second, and this sock is a little bit thinner. In fact, it's noticeably thinner. However, they have managed to thin that out without making it so that you can feel the grip. So there is a huge benefit here where I think that you still get all of this traction, all of this grip without feeling it underfoot. So that's really, really positive. I should also mention, when it comes to grips, there are no internal grips on the Pro 2.0. On the previous Pro 1.0, you did get these internal little grip pads. Now, I understand why they've moved away from that, because essentially their original Pro sock was this with internal grips, and I think this is a much better direction, but there are no internal grips on the new Advantedge Pro 2.0. Now let's talk about that material, and you can see the huge difference between what we've got now and what we used to have. It used to be essentially a crew sock style sock. It was just done very well. They just did a very good version of a crew sock with grips. However, what we have now, you can see it, I'll zoom in, and you can see that we have all of these different areas where there's different points in the sock that allow it to stretch or make it feel a little bit more solid. It's just really well put together, especially stretch laterally. This is so well designed, and I really enjoy this change up in the neck of the sock as well. It fits better, it feels more comfortable, and the material, oh, it's so soft. It's so soft. These are some of the softest, most comfortable socks that I have come across. Whatever they've done with this material is delightful. Really, really impressed. They're still using the Coolmax yarn, which means it's still one of the best for sweat wicking, and the material itself is just lovely. Really, really impressed. Now for the fit, I did mention those kind of different areas, compression zones, shall we say. They also have that up around the Achilles, and this provides a really nice fit just around that Achilles area where it wraps in and around the sock. That's really, really nice, and this is a huge upgrade all over. And even in the heel, we now get this little heel pocket that allows your heel to sit in there an awful lot better. The fit has been improved in almost every single area. Now, I did mention earlier that obviously you've got really good lateral stability in the sock. It doesn't overstretch, and all of these compression zones do a great job. However, the sock does stretch quite a lot in this direction. For me, slightly too much, and that's because I have a foot that's on the lower end of the sizing spectrum. So they have different sizes that you can buy, which is absolutely ideal. That's what you want from pretty much every single grip sock. And I fall towards the lower end of their sizes, and I've personally found that going down a size to the smaller size gives me a better fit. Some of this comes down to the fact I wear my boots super tight, so I am really putting the sock under a lot of pressure with this excess amount of grip. And because they do have that extra stretch, I would recommend that if you are on that kind of lower end of the sizing options, consider going for the smaller size. Now, I will say that a good friend of mine, Substance Football, he also has these, and he's basically not experienced this at all. He hasn't had to change size, but he has a bigger foot than me. So definitely worth considering. Also, of course, worth mentioning that we get anatomical shaping right and left feet, and it is a proper anatomical shaping as well. They haven't just put letters on there. It is well done. It's a really nice, well-fitting sock, and again, that material, it's so soft. I like it. Now we're going to talk about that price and how good it actually is. Now, as standard, these are $14.95, which you're thinking, okay, that's not excessive, but it's really not that cheap. You're right, it's not. However, we're going to add a 20% discount to that. I'll put the discount code on screen. You go ahead, you get 20% off. That brings them down to a really nicely affordable level. However, on top of that, you can then go and pick up one of their bundles. So they do like 3 sock bundles, 5 sock bundles, and add the 20% discount code on top of that. So what you can actually end up getting is socks, these socks, the Pro 2.0, for about £7 a pair, which is absolute madness. These are far beyond any other sock that you are going to pay that kind of money for. Now, yeah, you're looking at me going, well, why do I need 5 pairs of socks? Well, 1, you might need 5 pairs of socks to get you through the season. 2, you might have friends bundled together. And 3, if you can get 5 pairs for that kind of money, well, it's like buying 2. So it's the same price to buy 5 as it is to buy 2, basically. So price-wise, value for money, these are pretty much unbeatable. This is why, one of the reasons why I'm so hot on these is because great build, great material, really good effective grip, if that is your vibe, the silicone grip, and you can get them pretty much cheaper than any other sock, and any other sock that is of this price, this is better than. I am a big fan of these as a value for money proposition. Just check them out. Okay, ranking. We're going to rank these twice. Bear with me. I shall explain. So firstly, where do the current ones rank? The other non-pro versions, where would they rank? They're in the middle tier. They're in that Nike Crew tier. Perfectly reasonable, very much acceptable, well worth considering. However, these, so much better than that. So these are going to go in the tier above. So we're going to put these in the second tier. If you haven't seen my tier list before, if you are new here, the tier lists are the tiers in the tier list are Foot Fetish, Foot Spa, Nike Crew, Cheesy, and Moldy. Yes, Foot Fetish, I know, every time. It is what it is. It's staying like that now. So these are going in the second tier in terms of pure performance. In terms of pure performance, that is where they go. They go to the very top end of that second tier. The only reason I'm not putting them in the top tier is quite simply I do think that the silicone grip. It's my thing. I'm not a silicone grip guy. I can't put them in the top tier using this particular style of grip. But they're so close. They're so unbelievably close. So they're going to go in the second tier. So what about this second ranking? Well, if we were to consider the price, they would be top tier. If we're going to put value for money onto these are top tier, smashing it right at the top end. Go and buy them right now. But that's not actually my second ranking. My second ranking is for these socks. Also from Advantedge. And these are the non-grip version of their socks. These are the light version. Now, they don't have grips. I understand you're like, well, we're talking about grip socks. Just stick with me. They have everything that the grip sock has without the grips, and they're just like next level comfortable. They're also £10 a pair at full price, but you do that same math, add the 20%, go for the 5-pair bundle, take 20% off, and these have literally become, I just wear these every single day socks. These are so good. And honestly, yeah, we can sit here all day, talk about grip socks, how, you know, they're a thing, how everybody wants them. I review grip socks. Yes, they are a genuine product that can benefit you. But if you just want a good pair of socks to wear in your boots, you probably want to get these. My weird recommendation is to just not buy grip socks, save the money, buy these instead. I hope that makes sense. If you want to check out my review of the previous generation, or the non-pro version, shall we say, click this video here. But definitely go and look at these non-grip socks. They're really good.